Big changes are coming to mornings at 92.3 The Fan.
All right, everybody, don't panic. It's not the end of us, but we do have news for you. Stay tuned.
More news coming soon, so lock in 92.3 The Fan all week and weekend long. It's 5 o'clock on The Fan, and it's time for The Lead with Nick Wilson and Jonathan Peterlin on Afternoon Drive.
And The Fan is looking for a winner. Be caller number 4. Right now at 216-474-0092, you'll be named GM of one of the 32 NFL first-round picks in our 2026 mock draft, April 16th. A game on, located on Lorraine Road in North Olmsted. Plus, you'll get some exclusive Bud Light swag and a buffet dinner as well.
Nick and JP back on Afternoon Drive. Browns oars, offseason oars. So I'm going to pit two ideas against each other and make JP choose what he thinks is likely and what he likes more. Coming up in 1 hour's time. Should be noted, if you've been following along in the 92 Third Fan YouTube channel, we are having a whole mess of issues on it. Keith's on it. Jake Murren's on it. So be patient. We'll let you guys know when everything's good and going there. But again, we'll get to you guys in just a second here on the competition here. But on NFL Network, Ian Rappaport revealed the Jaguars' plan with Travis Hunter after his rookie season.
They expect him to be a full-time corner, part-time receiver, which when you talk to teams last year, that probably was where they thought the value wasn't really where they thought the production would lie. So maybe this coming year, we're going to get to see the player that they drafted, that they traded up for last year.
Yeah, it's interesting. I really do feel like it was always going to be one side or the other. For Travis Hunter's sake, it's kind of upsetting it's not wide receiver because you could make more money as a wide receiver. But clearly he showcased himself to be a better corner than he is a receiver.
Yeah, and I think, here's the thing. Travis Hunter can go on to be a great corner. The Browns still won this draft. If Mason Graham, Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Sampson, and whoever this pick in this first round this year are guys who are really steady contributors in the NFL. Because the whole point on Travis Hunter's value and the thing that screamed to me, danger, Will Robinson, danger, was so much of his value was baked in as a two-way player, which was illogical that could work out long term. Yeah,
it's funny. Like every comp you had for wide receivers and corners, they had much better corner comps than he ever had for wide receivers. But you're right. It was baked into the idea you're getting two players for one, and now a year later you're just getting one player.
So what does that mean? That would be a victory lap for the Browns. We don't get to do this often, so kick the tires and light the fires. Let's light some stogies here. Let's laserize it out, right? And let's hope that James Gladstone continues to want to trade with Andrew Berry. Yeah. Because it just keeps working out.
Kind of like how Texans fans are like, anytime the Browns want to do deals, it's like, all right, call us up. Let's make this happen. We got our guy.
I want to get to our winner in just a second here. If James Gladstone called you today and said, I think they got the 54th pick somewhere in there in the second round, I want to double down. And he agreed to send next year's first rounder.
Yeah.
Can we all agree we think the Jacksonville Jaguars are more of a one-and-done playoff team than being a perennial playoff threat?
I don't know. I do like Cohen more than most. I also like Trevor Lawrence more than most. I'm the wrong person to ask this, remembering last year who predicted them to actually win their division.
Big bucks, no whammy.
It was me. It was me.
I'm in hit-me mode. Even if you get the 18th pick next year, it's still better.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get our winner on here.
Let's get that winner.
Trevor in Cleveland. Welcome to the show. Come on here, buddy. Well done.
Come on, I'm the winner.
You are. I'm bringing that winner energy, I'll tell you right now, buddy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I mean, I'm winning.
All right, so I do want to know, the Browns are off the board. You are winning. The Browns are off the board. Is there a team you would like to pick, or is there a team you'd hate if you picked that I could pull right now?
I would hate to be the Steelers, but as far as I think anything in the late 20s is a crapshoot, so that's what I'm hoping I don't get.
All right, well, let's see what we can do here. All right, well, I'm going to keep you in Ohio, and I'm going to keep you in the top 10. The Cincinnati Bengals are your team, Trevor. How are we feeling?
That's pretty good.
I feel like Joe Burrow needs some more protection.
Look at that. We'll tell that to his significant others. Listen, Trevor, great stuff. Cannot wait to see you coming up this next week, okay? We're going to put you back on hold, okay?
Thanks, guys.
All right, Trevor there. Trevor. That's our winner. We got three more. So that means Monday is the last day.
I don't know why I felt like I had to sell it to Trevor. I was like, oh, it's a good pick. I don't why?
We took care of you, right?
I know. I really wanted that validation from him to be like, yeah, all right.
We're your favorites,
This
right?
is awesome. This is
You
great.
love us.
Can't believe you pulled that one. It's great. A to Z Sports NFL draft analyst Joe DeLeon joined us today at 3. We asked him about Jordan Reed, saying the Browns really like Kaden Proctor at number 6.
It would actually be quite shocking, I think, for the fact that he's been one prospect just generally since the beginning of the college football season has been controversial to discuss. But I think that after the season played out and after he had a pretty disappointing year, I think a lot of people came to the conclusion that this is a prospect that is developmental, that needs a lot of work, and currently is not really suitable for a team that wants an immediate impact at offensive line. He is a really good athlete. Kaden Proctor just does not have that mobility for him to play tackle. So I don't think that's worth the 6th overall pick, especially a guy that you don't even know for certain can play guard or not.
So there are those comments. I think everybody's general response to Kaden Proctor at 6 is, oh boy. But the Jeremy Fowler anonymous AFC exec quote saying, and this is somebody trying to convince you that he should be a top 5 pick. He can be so good if he wants to be. There are some sports that I think guys who just don't really love the game or who might just be physical freaks who can just dominate whatever, that can actually go do that. Yeah. I don't think football's one.
I agree with you.
It's too physical. It's too painful. It's too easy to be out on.
I mean, he just kind of feels like one of these guys that's 6'6", 350 pounds, and is like, oh, I can't do anything else with this, so let's play football. And I don't love that. I agree with you 100% from that perspective. His athleticism is obviously something that is very admirable and desirable. Boy, he reminds me a lot of Jed Wills.
Yeah, and I think that is the kiss of death for Browns fans. Here's the other thing. I don't know if anybody else remembers this. His freshman year, he was at Alabama. And the year that Caleb Downs came to Ohio State, Kaden Proctor went to Iowa. And then before, I think it was spring break, he got back in the portal and transferred back to Alabama.
Yeah.
And I just never heard a satisfactory explanation of that. Should that take him off the draft board? Obviously not. He apparently was in town yesterday. Caleb Lomu was also in town yesterday. But does it give me a little extra pause for a guy that I'm already a little concerned about just being a DeJuan Jones on a much bigger risk scale? Absolutely. Rich Eisen made the case on the Rich Eisen Show, aptly named as it were, for the Browns to draft Carnell Tate with a 6th overall pick.
I know you don't draft for the fans, right? But if you can draft for the fans and check a major box and fill a massive need, that's the triple play, right? If the Cleveland Browns take Carnell Tate and tell all those Buckeye nuts in their fan base, we have Carnell Tate now, okay? And their new head coach, Todd Monken, comes from the offensive mindset. You add Carnell Tate to this mix, and you're telling the Browns fans, we know you know this guy, come on out and watch Cleveland Browns football. Don't you think that would get people excited?
So it's not a hard sell, obviously, for a lot of Ohio State fans, but it is the type of thing that I just don't think NFL fans or NFL teams take into consideration. I don't think they did it with Denzel Ward. I don't think they would do it with Carnell Tate. They'll take Carnell Tate because they like him the best.
So teams, I will say, teams and sometimes the Browns historically have not always drafted guys for the right reason. We know the Johnny Manziel conversation and how that happened. And also, the biggest lie that's ever been told is everyone was in consensus with this pick. That very rarely happens. One, NFL teams are huge now, so consensus is very hard to get. 2, guys, they're football guys. They don't agree on everything. There's a reason why there's an entire industry built off disagreeing about football, and it's sports talk. Because everybody can watch the same film and come away with different conclusions or like different styles of players. That being said, I don't think the Browns, under Andrew Berry specifically, would ever say, well, he went to Ohio State and that's
He's just never shown us any reason to do anything for the fans to begin with anyway. Yeah. He might be the least swayed by the fan base of a GM I've ever seen. I can't think of another one that has just cared less about what the fans think.
Is there value in it? Of course. But it's value that you get after you make the pick. Also, by the way, is it why fans want Carnell Tate, that he played Ohio State? Yes, that doesn't impact the Browns' decision. It's just something they benefit if they also take
Well, it just kind of goes along, and again, not necessarily the idea that Ohio State fans know him because they watch every game and they're, like, excited by him, but, like, for instance, I pull up Todd McShay's big board. Carnell Tate is the number one wide receiver on that board. Lemon hasn't separated himself. He's only hurt himself. Jordan Tyson, a guy you and I both like, has had a lot of injuries, and so, like, there's reason to believe, in all seriousness, that Carnell Tate is the best wide receiver in this draft class. All right, the Hawks broadcaster Bob Rathbun joined us last hour. He broke down how tonight's Cavs-Hawks game impacts the standings in the East.
I think tonight we'll kind of know, right? I mean, if the Raptors, how many straight have they lost to the Knicks? It's a bunch. And if they stumble, then if the Hawks win tonight, then they can clinch fifth, and we will see each other. We're going to find out. I mean, we're as anxious as anybody. But again, they just want to win. They don't care if they're playing, Coweta County down here. They just want to win the game so they can punch their ticket and get in, because this is, fellas, I'm telling you, this is one of the most amazing post-All-Star break turnarounds in NBA history.
Well, fellas, I got to tell you, I had some dynamite lasagna the other day, and tonight when I get to I'm going to fist bump Dominique Wilkins, and we're just going to go have one hullabaloo tonight down there at the old arena.
He loved that carrying him on his back joke that you made.
He did. Well, no, he made the joke.
Well, he made the joke, but then you're like, yo, you've been doing it well.
Yeah, and then
You've been doing it well.
I turned it into hitting on Bob Rathbun. Let me tell you, you got those strong, supple thighs there, Bob. Oh, boy, thank you.
Diana.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
Jason Benetti of NBC Sports was on The Morning Show today, and he talked about Chase DeLauter's promising start to the Guardian season.
The thing that I think is most intriguing that makes you feel best about him is that his swing is so unorthodox, and the pitches that he can get to are so unorthodox. That ball he hit on Saturday night in the opening series against Seattle, where he just kind of flicked the ball the opposite way. I mean, I ran into 3 pitchers over the course of a week who brought that up to me separately, of like, how in the world did he get to that baseball and hit it out of the ballpark? So I think he really knows who he is in the batter's box. And I think, regardless of age, regardless of experience, that's important. And he has such plate coverage, at least so far, that it feels like something that's going to be able to last.
And then there's Benetti, who I think is one of the best in the game. And instead of sounding like Brockmeyer, he sounds like he just woke up from his... Hey, he might have clearly just woke up from whatever a nap, whatever sleep he was having.
I was already saying before the season, I'm not just going to sit here and fret over injuries. I'm just not doing it. If the kid can stay healthy, I think he's going to be great. And he's blown me away. He does have the funkiest swing. But, man, he runs, he plays hard. You can tell he loves the game. He is, and honestly, I think he's what the Guardians have been missing for 5 years behind Hosey. Yes, they've had Quan, they've had Manzardo, they had Naylor. They never had another guy who, with one swing of the bat, at any point, you could just unpredictably change a game. And it's not even just about the home runs. Incredible double power and gap power. Like, he's a really special player. And, God, He's just been so much fun to watch. I'm excited. Yeah. He's back in the 2-hole tonight playing right field.
Yeah, they put him in the 5-hole the other night against Kansas City.
Didn't care for it.
It was the game that 10-2 that game was that Wednesday.
I like that.
That part was good. But it was, and you could even see it. And DeLauter had a couple RBIs in that game. He had an all right game overall. But like you can even see like the pitching and the pitches he's going to get in the 2 spot in front of J-Ram is going to be primo. Like that's the best spot for him. And as the league starts to adjust to who he is, I want to see them stay in the 2-hole and have him be there to get the best opportunities.
And because I think it's going to be good for Quan and Hosey. Like when people start adjusting to DeLauter, all of a sudden better choice pitches for both Quan and Hosey.
Angel's off to a great start, but when you put Angel into the 2 spot, it's a little bit different than when you're putting DeLauter there.
You're not hiding him. I don't want to say that. Because without DeLauter, Angel I actually do think can be a 2-hitter. I think he's a little speed, he's a little this, he's a little that, kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. But man, DeLauter's like when you put Trout in the 2-hole or Judge in the 2-hole.
The 2-hitter at this point in baseball is your best hitter.
Yeah.
J-Ram just doesn't like to hit in the 2 spot. And so like we make an adjustment for that. That's fine. We're different. We're unique. But you have to have some bop in the 2 spot. That's part of the idea.
And he's got the bop, as they say. The streets are talking about Myles Garrett. In fact, they don't seem to want to shut up. That's in 5 minutes on 92.3 The Fan.
Make the most of your tax refund. Get the car you want and the deal you want at Brunswick Auto Mart. Don't miss the Declaration of Deal sales event. Lease a new 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 with industry-leading
almost like a university under siege.
Listen to and follow Campus Files, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Todd Monken.
Oh, well, it's starting to kick up a little bit here in the next couple of weeks. It's fine. Nothing hard. Just take some time. That's all it is. So that allows us to kind of dedicate some time to the draft.
When breaking Browns news happens, it happens here first. This is the radio home of the Cleveland Browns. 92.3 The Fan.
Nick and JP back on Afternoon Drive. We got some oars to come for the Browns and JP in about 40 minutes here. Put on my... It's not even diabolical questions. I hate that the internet's taking that over. They're tough questions, and JP's got to choose. There's no either here. There's only oars.
Yeah, and whatever I say, we'll just take with extreme serious nature and be clipped and put out there, and let's all have fun in my experience.
Devoid of context as well.
Yeah, and then we just do like champions poses when none of it's been proven for like weeks on end afterwards. Is that how that works?
That feels like it's not even about the segment we're going to do in 40 minutes. It feels like it might be about something else.
Oh no, I had no idea.
Yeah. Now, I think it's been interesting watching. It's funny. I think watching the reaction to Myles Garrett voluntary OTAs, which you and we stand somewhere in the middle on, which is there are, like Ken Carmen in the mornings.
Wednesday I went completely to the side of...
I wasn't here and you went to the other side?
No, I went to the side if he needed to be here. Yeah. I'm not making it a great deal. That was the main point on that, and I think that's what we stayed with on Tuesday. Neither one of us are making it a great deal. But after Monken made his comments, clearly Monken was pissed about it. But there's no other way to look at it.
So it's interesting that we're having this conversation because a lot of, whether it was Monken's comments or Myles just no-showing, I understand that some people just want to disqualify it as nope, we have this conversation every year. Why are we doing this? I do understand that. I also understand just being annoyed by the topic because it was about 25% of last offseason. But given that they, for no reason that actually benefits you this year, they did redo a contract, which Myles had to agree with, because you did not give Myles a head coach he wanted, and the rumor out there is that he still has not met Todd Monken. That seems significant. Like there's a lot of little things that if I can understand if you look at it and it adds up to, hey, maybe Myles is a short timer here. I think Andrew Berry went so hard in the paint at the owners' meetings that if you turned around and traded him June 2nd, you would look like an absolute clown. And I know that the Browns don't always care about that. This would be one that you should care about. There's a difference between doing this to Snidely Whiplash and doing it to Myles freaking Garrett.
Sure, but if the response there is, I guess the media just won't take anything I say as gospel anymore, it's like, well, isn't that already how we treat Andrew Berry to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how we treat most people with the Browns.
So
when they're bad.
But the idea being that I don't think he has to worry about his comments about calling Myles Garrett a career Brown or whatever that is. That's
not from you and me, but from the Browns fans this next year. If you trade Myles after saying he's a career Brown, you trade him June 2nd, and this team stinks to high hell, it doesn't matter what you get. There are going to be people furious at you and calling you a liar.
That would have happened regardless of whether or not he lied a month ago or 2 months ago. The lying
so
part
you don't
of
think
that,
it's an amplifying effect? Because I certainly do.
No, I really don't.
Okay.
I feel like when it comes to Andrew Berry, I feel like no one takes him at his word anyway, as is. And when half the people when he makes that comment don't believe him to begin with anyway, I don't think people are sitting there being like, my 95 jersey's sacred because Andrew Berry said that it is. I don't buy that.
Speaking of sacred things, there's nothing more sacred apparently than Ken or Anthony's texts. So we have another instance of somebody getting texts and it becoming treated as a fact or something else. I don't know what's less reliable, Anthony Lima reports or Ken Carmen texts, but I'm here to bring them both up.
Should I text you something right now and then you can just be like, I got a text? I should text you right now. Myles Garrett will be not on the Cleveland Browns next year. And then you can say, I just got a text.
I'm getting text. That is true.
Can't say from who.
Yeah.
You may call this guy an insider, you may not.
That's
I don't
true.
know. That's up to you. But like someone close to the team in some respects has texted me, and here we go.
And this is somebody who would know potentially. That this, you always got to add like an amplifier.
It's like we can't confirm whether or not he's talked to anybody, but like maybe sometimes he does.
Now,
maybe.
Ken, here's Ken from this morning.
Oh, Mac's a team employee. Mac, you want to start texting us? And we can say
That's
team
true.
Employees have been texting us all sorts of information.
But we won't out you on it. We'll continue.
You're team employee.
Yeah, you're our deep throat.
Not a team employee. Okay, take it easy there.
That's a Watergate reference, you pervert. Learn history.
Yeah, coming from you. Yeah, okay.
Phrasing. Here's Ken from this morning talking about, those darn texts he's getting. I hate texts.
I had somebody who sent me something this morning, and Owen got my attention about it, where it's like, man, you might look real foolish yelling about not talking about this whole Miles stuff here coming up in the next couple weeks, and I got a little bit nervous about it.
All right, so did Owen read his text first? I'm a little actually lost because I
thought Lima had gotten the text.
Can we run it back one more time?
I had somebody who sent me something this morning, and Owen got my attention about it, where it's like, man, you might look real foolish yelling about not talking about this whole Miles stuff here coming up in the next couple weeks, and I got a little bit nervous about it.
All right, there is.
Now I got confused too.
There is.
I'm sorry.
There's a little Yosemite Sam in the middle of that. Anyways.
I don't want to bog it down. The idea is that
I kind of do. Yeah. It's fun shots at Ken.
Well, no, but I'm worried we're then falling into the thing of like we both listened to the segment, but I don't have great recall on exactly what happened there.
Well, no, I just think we've clipped that in a way because he says the Lima thing first.
Yeah.
And Ken also, in fairness, no matter how you clip it, Ken brought it up in a very confusing way.
Okay.
But to get to the heart of this, I guess we'll start with it. How serious do we buy into the Miles trade rumors?
I think they're serious. There was a level of disdain that Monken had in that press conference in trying to convey to everybody the idea that, like, it's voluntary, I can't make him be here, but also speaking to how much value comes from being there. And you could tell Monken took that, I'm not going to say personally, but if I was Monken, I would have taken that personally. The idea that he didn't want to be there and that Miles is sending some sort of message by not being there.
All right. If the Browns have decided as part of Miles' reaction to Monken getting hired, and maybe Monken is now offended that they would like to no longer be in the Myles Garrett business, I probably would. I'm all in on Monken right now. Might have to be considerably out on Monken because it's not. You can't really do anything about the fact that Miles has been given. It's too late in the game to change who Miles is. When I'm talking about is like the leeway that he's been given.
No, but what I think
you can't try and pull in the reins right now.
Totally get that. But I think for Monken, to me, it felt like Monken was taking it personally, and I understand why. Like Miles, if he had shown up, it would have been that endorsement we've been talking about that's been lacking for Monken. The idea that he didn't show up, we're just kind of left in this era of, well, do you like the new head coach? Do you not like the new head coach? And I wonder if Monken feels that exact same way. Like, he doesn't know where he stands with Miles. He doesn't know if Miles is even supportive of what he's trying to do. And that ambiguity to it all has got to be something that is driving Monken up the wall.
Now, if the Browns look at a couple things. One, they feel like, hey, we dodged the bullet of last year. We still gave it another go into 2025. But nothing has changed, and their quarterback hasn't materialized, and maybe our timeline has massively changed because of the quarterback market and how it's evolved. And Miles has also come to the conclusion that the quarterback market never materialized. Mm-hmm. If this is both sides coming to a better understanding what they probably should have had last year, okay. Like, listen, I don't want to trade Miles. And I want to be on the record as saying I do think Miles should be a career Brown. But because Miles did it publicly and because the Browns are not good enough until something gives here, the Browns either find their quarterback and start being good, or Miles just keeps not being traded and keeps not asking for a trade, and honestly could have shown up at OTAs and it would have shut all this sound up.
That's part of it, yeah.
But until something gives here, this will be the predominant conversation about the Browns with Myles Garrett. And we can't control it. Like, Ken's going to get these texts. We're all going to hear things until, again, he either doesn't get traded or he does get traded or they win and he doesn't get traded. Like, it's going to feel a little Groundhog's Day-y, and it's just the reality of the situation. But I do think, it makes even more sense now if you can get a Godfather offer from the Browns' perspective to do this because the quarterback market has changed, and it seems like they're all in on 2027. I wouldn't do it. I think that tanking / rebuilding, a hard rebuild, a hard reset, whatever you want to call it, I think is foolish, and I think it usually blows up and makes a team look very foolish. But it does feel like that's more of a possibility than certainly it was a year ago.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are understanding that now, and I think that's why it goes back to being on the table. Now, the other side of this is, where there's smoke, there's fire. How much of this is Miles being like, all right, I like people talking about this. I want people discussing this, because he could have easily shown up and then it would have all gone away. I almost wonder if there's like a LeBron James quality to Miles sometimes. LeBron would just throw himself in conversations unnecessarily and then make it a whole story and a whole drama about LeBron and find this like cycle where once every couple weeks even it would just be another big LeBron dominated piece. And I wonder if maybe Miles has a little of that to himself as well.
Well, I don't think it's coincidence the last couple of years that Miles has said things or done things that have gotten attention, and that it's also getting him attention as a football player. Like, I tend to believe that Miles is a pretty smart dude and that he understands the power of, outside of a couple very extreme cases, there's really not a lot of bad PR. Almost any PR is good PR. And do I think that helps get you attention on a very bad Browns team? Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying it's why he's gotten the DPOY 2 straight years, or 2 times, because he's that damn good.
Right.
But do I think that it has helped him getting more attention for stuff like the trade? Do I think the trade request last year and then going out and being just an absolute career level year on a 5-win team, do I think that helped Miles have a little extra noise behind him in a storyline? Absolutely.
Of course it did. Yeah, of course it did. And so I just wonder if that's why this continues on, because Miles, he could have easily put a stop to a lot of this. I don't know that he wants to.
Well, and I think it's funny. Like, he doesn't even have to show up at OTAs to stop the conversation. He could just put out a video on Instagram that takes 30 seconds saying, guys, the contract is so 3 years from now, I open up something for the Browns. They came to me because they want to get ahead of stuff.
You want to make it less nerdy, go on like a Michael Parsons podcast like you've done previously and speak on it then and make it obvious.
I met Todd Monken. I also gave him a porcelain horse. Like, things are good.
That's it. Well, I mean, that'd be weird if he just copied what Shador did.
Yeah, you want to give him like some Naruto or something like that, a little anime.
some anime, some something.
Yeah,
not
some manga.
Not something where Shador's like, geez, no, that was my gift.
Yeah.
I did that already.
He's like, hey, I've got this Japanese
horse.
This Japanese comic book, and I signed it for you, Todd.
Gives him his own autograph?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be
That's
fun?
a power play.
That's Miles' thing to do.
That's a big power play.
Are you telling me Miles doesn't give people his autograph in just like circumstances where it's not dictated? Come on. Miles loves him some Miles. There's no problem. If I looked like that and I was that charming, hell yeah, I'd love myself too. I love myself, and I'm not even that good looking.
Are we like handing out like helmets or something, or what is he signing? Why is he signing comic books?
So it's funnier the less team related. It's more like the Miles related things.
He signs like a stapler and hands it to him,
like speeding tickets. He signs.
Well, that could be. That's big memorabilia.
Meaning he gets them printed out and then signs replicas and just has them.
It's not even the real. It's not even the real speeding ticket.
It's like a Shador speeding ticket that he signs.
Numbers them out of 100. You get 95 out of 100. It's more valuable.
Also, I made one of these a digital copy as well.
He's like printing out like pizza menus and just signing them randomly. It knows no bounds.
We're having fun. 216-474-0092. Ken's getting texts. Oh, boy. How serious do we buy into Miles trade rumors? It really is more complex than it seems. Every time I see somebody try and really simplify it, it's like, I don't think it's that simple. I don't think we're in a simple spot between Miles and the team. Contractually, his happiness with the direction of it, his happiness
where the team even is,
with where the head coach
that's
is, or
part
the
of this
defensive
problem
coordinator.
is that a lot of the screams they should have traded him last year, and a lot of the screams they should trade him this offseason, yet they continue to tell us no, and then we don't hear from Miles.
How serious do we buy Miles trade rumors and timelines in the Browns? Will they ever coincide? This is a really good point by Daryl Ryder. I can't believe I said it, but I did say it. In 5 minutes on 92.3 The Fan.
So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
There's only one place to hear breaking Browns news. This is the radio home of the Cleveland Browns. 92.3 The Fan.
We're going to set up some Browns oars. Not like the oars, like rowing oars, but some oars for JP to decide on coming up in about 20 minutes. I'll weigh in as well. I'm not just going to put you on the island there. But we're talking about the Myles Garrett endless cease of speculation and innuendos and text messages and who's getting them and who's not getting them. And Andrew Berry.
Innuendos?
Aren't texts basically innuendos? Because they're rumors. They're not reports. Ken didn't report anything, right? It's more of an innuendo, a rumor.
Yeah, I guess with you, I just always think of sexual innuendos.
That's
so
fair.
we were just kind of going there.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah.
I think that's you're spot on there, Tiger.
That's all right.
But
didn't hate the Tiger thing, by the way.
I do.
Don't know why. Didn't hate it.
We just tried it out. You never really know.
Didn't hate it. Very casual. Very casual for a Friday.
But while we're on the topic of how serious do we buy into Myles trade rumors, I do think Daryl Maid, and you hate to give him credit because it always goes to his head.
I am saying yes, and oh yes.
Daryl made a really, really good point about an offensive jump this year. There is some cynicism in here that is one of the things that can annoy me with Daryl. I also think there's a decent point within what Daryl's trying to express here.
I've talked about this all off season, just the misalignment that we have, right? Mm-hmm. You have this really great Super Bowl caliber defense, and then you have an expansion team offense, which I think is an insult to expansion teams. It's that bad by the time you get that offense where it needs to be, which I think is going to take 2 years. I'm not sold that the franchise quarterback is here. It's certainly not Deshaun. Odds are that question will be answered in 2027, but that rookie probably isn't going to come in and all of a sudden flip the franchise on its head and make them an immediate Super Bowl contender. Again, these things take time for some quarterbacks, and by the time that train gets on the tracks, well, the defense is going to need a lot of work and a lot of rebuilding.
So this is a rare case where I think Daryl is speaking in hypotheticals, the worst's happening here. And I also think he's speaking in a little bit of hyperbole. And I also don't think he's wrong to think this way.
Yeah. Well, I always felt like we had this with the Joe Woods years, where it was like we had one good defensive year, and then it went away, and then it was you could never time it up.
Yeah.
But this wasn't a year in, year out basis. This isn't what I think he's describing right here, which is we're going to continue to have this defensive onslaught, but they're going to be like two ships passing in the night. When the defense takes a step backwards, the offense takes a step forward, and we're just never going to be able to link up.
So I think there's and this isn't. I think we can always fall back on, well, if you're guessing in the negative on the Browns, most years you're going to be right, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's what this is with Daryl.
No, because this eventually says you turn around the offense.
But here's the thing. I think Daryl's right in that this was an expansion level bad offense last year. But I think what he's missing, or what I push back on, is I don't think people realize how hard it is to get it so sufficiently wrong. Schematically, they were bleeped from Jump Street last year. Their quarterback room didn't come together until a week before the draft. That's not smart. Not in case anybody knows that there. They did have talent deficiency in the wide receiver room. They had a lot of youth in certainly in the running back room, and then certainly at the quarterback spot, and not first-round talent, third- and fifth-round talent, according to the NFL. And their offensive line wasn't healthy either. The amount that has to go wrong to be that bad in the NFL last year, that non-functional, that's what it was. It was non-functional, is so hard to pull off. It's almost a work of art. That's how that was last year. So the reverse of that is it's not that hard to make this a palatable offense. Like a top 20 quarterback. I'm saying the 20th best quarterback in the NFL. if you just played that guy for 17 games, would give you a chance behind a top 20 offensive line.
But this is kind of what Daryl's speaking to, that idea that it's like you're going to watch the offense get progressively better. And with each year, you're going to add, because they got such a focus on the offense, you're going to get better on the offensive side of the ball. But with each year, you're also then probably going to take a step back on the defensive side.
But who's saying they're not going to add people to the defensive room? I mean, I've advocated taking David Bailey with a 6 pick.
I mean, it's always open that you can advocate, that you can do something to the defensive side of the ball, but like where they've stressed to us, maybe you just don't believe them. They've stressed the offensive side, and they stressed trying to get better on the offensive side. And so I like the timeline that Daryl's working with, and even for this upcoming year, I think you're going to take a step forward on the offensive side. I also think you're going to take a little bit of a step back defensively. I think losing Schwartz and having a new defensive coordinator is what's going to be the difference in that. Is it a major step in either direction? I don't know. Probably not, though.
So again, I want to say, I think I understand why Daryl's saying what he's saying. And I think he might be closer right than I am here. But it's just, none of this is that hard. You don't have to choose between you're kind of backing up your defense here, as long as you're drafting well in the middle rounds and late rounds, and also improving your offense. Like, it's a little doomsday scenario for me, and I don't think we're there. If you trade Miles, it certainly changes the calculus. If you just go all offense and none of those guys work out this year, or not enough of those guys work out, the math gets more complicated here. But I think we're going a little hard in the paint for a team that went from 3 wins to 5 wins. And I still think the defense has some legs in it, as long as we're not trading Myles Garrett tomorrow.
Well, and again, that's part of this equation too, though, is that Myles is getting older with each passing year, and maybe Myles is the one guy that can be good for 3, 4, 5 years from now. I don't know. I think in my mind, I think Myles is going to be one of these guys like Tom Brady that we're like, wait, hold on, he's still good at that part of his stage, but will he be with the team? Denzel Ward, Denzel's. How many more years of Denzel Ward being awesome do we have? We're worried about his concussions every single week as is, nonetheless counting for years with an S. And so I do think there's some big ticket items defensively that the Browns have to account for.
So here would be another thing, I think, though. And this is this might come off, I don't mean this to come off in a bad way, but sometimes when I say that, it does. Most times when I say that, it does. How many teams' timelines offensively and defensively line up consistently?
No, isn't that's the game of the NFL?
Yes.
Like, this is the hard threading of the NFL, and being able to really get that down is trying to time everything up where your offense can be as good. Basically what the Seahawks have right now, where the Seahawks have a top 4 offense and defense, and they were able to time up the idea that all those draft picks they got from Russell Wilson all hit on the defensive side of the ball, mixed with the idea that they have one of the best wide receivers now in the game ascending at the same time that they were able to throw in there with Sam Darnold and make everything work offensively. You got to get a little lucky.
Kansas City went so hard in the paint in Karlaftis and McDuffie to fix that defense, and they did, by the way.
Remember,
that defense.
the first Super Bowl they had that Mahomes won, they won with one of the worst defenses we've had in the last 20 years to win a Super Bowl.
And so then they fixed that.
And so they tried to fix it,
and then the offense fell apart.
Yeah, exactly right, because there's only, that's what makes the NFL hard, is that if you give... It's like a seesaw. It's a never-ending seesaw, and you're constantly trying to. If you take from one piece, you have to add to another piece, and if you're trying to make it all mix, but ultimately it never really works. See the Bengals. The Bengals have been trying to do for years. It's like they have so many great weapons with Joe Burrow and everyone over on the offensive side of the ball, and they're drowning defensively because there's not enough money, there's not enough resources to fix both sides.
So even if I think Daryl has a lot of valid points, and I just disagree with how far away the offense really is, because I don't think it's that hard to be a respectable offense. To me, I think the hyperbole, as if this is a uniquely Cleveland problem, or it spells the sky is falling, that's where I disagree with Daryl. That's where it feels like hyperbole.
I think the main point he's trying to make is that he believes the offense is where they're going to be doing everything and putting all their resources towards, and we're going to watch that drip from one side to the other as we just add to the offense, and then the defense has to take hit after hit after hit, because you can only do so much. You can't fix everything. You can't have both sides really going unless you get some luck involved.
216-474-0092. Will the Browns' timelines, offensively and defensively, always be off? And we got some diabolical Browns ors in 5 minutes for JP on 92.3 The Fan.
headline segments. Headline Sports News continues every 20 minutes on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Mackenzie Flume.
When you want the latest on the Cavs, we're the station you turn to first. 92.3 The Fan is Cleveland's home for breaking sports news. Your teams, your station. It's the 6 o'clock hour.
Someone step on a duck.
On Afternoon Drive.
1 hour to go. Nick Wilson, Jonathan Peterlin with you. We do have a little baseball talk coming your way here in about 20 minutes. We got In Case You Missed It coming up at the end of the show. But I've been teasing this all day. I've dreamed up several ors. These are not eithers. These are only ors for JP to choose from. I do think there's a bit of diabolicalness to them. I've also invited Mac and Jake. If they think of diabolical ors, I don't like that, ors for the Browns for JP, they can also submit them. I don't think they can do it, but JP, you ready?
I'm ready. Wait, are you also playing part in this too, or no?
Yeah. So I will let you answer first.
Okay.
And so it's the likelihood of this choice, and then it's which one you like best. Actually, give me the which one you like best, and then the likelihood.
Okay.
Let's get the music. So we're going to start quarterback. We talked a lot about quarterback.
Yes.
I continue to hear people saying they expect the Browns to draft a quarterback, albeit a late-round quarterback. So I'm going to give you two options here for the Browns.
Yep.
Carson Beck in the 5th round, Beck, or Will Levis for a 5th rounder.
Carson Beck in the 5th round. That's the one I like the best. It's also the one I think they would do. I don't see them being in the Will Levis business, so maybe that's exactly why they'd be in the Will Levis business. But I feel like we've had reports attached to them with Carson Beck. I feel like I'm all right with that. Now, I wouldn't do either, but because I have to choose, I'm choosing Carson Beck.
This is diabolical. All right, so...
Yeah, it didn't really start off too diabolical here.
I think Carson Beck is probably more likely because the Munkin connection, because the price is right with a 5th-round pick. There's a lot of experience here, too. I don't want to draft a quarterback under any circumstance. I don't, because the whole idea of a 5th-round quarterback is a developmental quarterback, and if you're already gearing up to take a quarterback in 2027, taking 4 quarterbacks in 3 years... And when the 4th quarterback you take is a first-round quarterback, seems really redundant and stupid way of building teams, even if I generally am on board of draft a quarterback when you can, right? If you like a quarterback, take a quarterback. I also think Levis serves this idea. One, he's got 2 more years, whereas Anthony Richardson has 1 more year. I don't love Will Levis for a 5th. But Will Levis for a 7th rounder?
Is Will Levis just getting some like Malik Willis, I don't know, like tag along, good faith type stuff happening here?
I'm sure.
Is that the idea?
I think it is. Well, it's the inverse because Malik gets the glow up because the Packers.
No, but
Will Levis gets the basically the Peterlin pass because
the Titans are the commonality between the two, though, right?
Okay,
so it's like you're thinking you are the Packers in this next destination for Will Levis, as if like the same thing that happened to Malik Willis is happening to Will Levis. It was a Titans problem. It was never actually their problem.
I understand that I am making this claim for Will Levis on a very I'm not saying he played well as an NFL quarterback, but he played worlds ahead better than Anthony Richardson, who was unplayable. I know he's got the no risky, no bisky. Todd Monken has history with that kind of guy in Jameis Winston, and I think Will has a powerhouse arm. Bit of a dunderhead, but I would be willing to give him a 2-year kind of let's see what he can do as part of this.
And a Fapello star.
Much better, by the way, than Carson Beck. You ready for the next or?
Yes.
Francis. Okay, Mauignoa.
Yeah, there we go.
Or Ihi Onshore at 24. So Mauignoa at 6 or Ihi Onshore at 24.
I guess Mauignoa at 6 is what I would do and what I also think they would do as well. I don't understand why Mauignoa is just kind of fallen out of favor in the past week or so. Everyone's fallen in love with Fano. Everyone wants to have discussions about Kaden Proctor. Mauignoa has been unequivocally the top guy the entire time. Don't make this hard on yourself. If that's who you like as the best tackle, or the best offensive lineman, excuse me, because he's not going to play tackle, then go for it.
I like Mauignoa. I do. Because Mauignoa is an ass kicker. So I do like that. I'm really getting seduced. Like, I hate the idea of Max Freeling as I really hate the idea of Freeling at 6 as a developmental guy, or as, hey, maybe in 3 years he's Colton Miller. Ankor, and I'm going to keep butchering his name, at 24, feels like a guy who's still new to football. He's an athletic freak. I think he is a left tackle. Like, I think he has
thought we decided
traits.
yesterday his last name was Chor. It was Ian Chor.
Ian Chor, yes. That's why I keep butchering it, because we decided yesterday. But I'm starting to come around to the idea of I really like him as a prospect. I think he might end up having a higher upside than Caleb Lomu, or I honestly don't even know what the figurative upside of Freeling is, but I really think Max has a real chance here. Honestly, neither would upset me. And if you got Maui Noah and what's his name?
Ian Chor.
I think I'd be
Max Ian Chor.
That might be the offensive lineman first round that I think I'd be very excited about.
Yeah, I read a little bit more from Todd McShay on what exactly he liked about Ian Chor and didn't like about him, and some of the combine stuff really kind of stands out. Some of it's 40-yard time, some of the little things that you wouldn't think about. But his weight is in the 70th percentile, and he's
as is mine.
Is that right? Only 70th.
Oh, it just depends on what we're sampling from. I thought it was a fat asses.
One day you'll tell me your actual weight, and I'll look up and see where you are in America.
It depends on that day.
I don't even want to begin to guess.
I wasn't weighed today, or I'd give it to you.
I kind of want to guess, but I don't want to guess. No, I don't want to guess. I
reserve.
No, I don't want to guess.
You won't upset me. I'm actually in a feeling good about myself.
That's not going to happen. That's just what this one thing is.
Mac,
not
you want to throw it out?
Yeah, Mac. What is your guess?
He's really sizing me up here. This is like a carnival barker thing he's doing.
You've never seen Nick before in person.
Well, no, he hasn't seen today's version.
He's looking at you for the first time.
I could have dropped 3 pounds. You want me to stand up? I'll do a full.
I'll say 360.
Oh, thank you. That's a very sweet. By the way, Mac's very nice for that. That's a very sweet boy.
Oh, that's a sweet guess. Okay, good, because I was thinking 365, but I didn't want to say 365.
Let's go with 365.
All right.
I am very close to 365.
Now you just made it more vague for everybody. Now I don't know. A weight of 360 pounds places an individual in the 99th percentile or higher for weight in the U.S., indicating they are heavier than over 99% of adults.
Losers.
That is the 99th percentile for weight in American men starts at approximately 341 pounds.
Enjoy global warming.
So you're not just there. You're there.
I'm out.
You're there by a lot.
Many people have said it.
You are a 1%er.
People have been saying it for a while.
We've been talking that about you for a while. 1%er. I mean, now, have you ever stopped to think about it for a second? Like, it might not be impressive in the way that you want to be impressive,
but I'm still in the 1%.
But you are a 1%er of something in this
true.
life. Like, you are a 1%er of something. Like, there's a lot of people that can eat out there, Nick. We can make an argument. There's a lot of people that can't eat anywhere as good as you.
And I only look 320. All right, the oars continue. Carnell Tate at 6 or Jordan Tyson at 24.
It's incredible.
I think we've lost JP to my
99
fatness.
percentile. How about that? That's incredible. I don't know why. I just
became a better partner for you because my fatness is extraordinary?
I mean, listen, there's a lot of percentiles you could throw out there. Maybe I should have assumed 99 percentile exists for 360. I just thought it'd be like 90th or something. I don't know why.
Give me more, fat man. I love that my obesity might have just endeared me more to Jonathan.
It's a very impressive thing in an odd way.
Hey, not a lot of guys 230 over there. You're looking pretty damn good at it.
There's a lot of guys that are that. That's the.
You're in the 55th percentile?
Maybe I'm higher than I thought.
Ooh, would you walk around like a big boy?
Nah.
Feeling like a big boy?
Stop that. All right, what was that?
Tate at 6 or Tyson at 24?
I would do Tyson at 24. I think they would do Tate at 6. And this kind of goes back to the idea of like them playing it safer than them taking any more risks. I think they want to do one combination. I think they want offensive lineman and wide receiver, some variant between 6 and 24. My bet would be you take the double off the wall and Carnell Tate at 6, and then you take whatever's there at 24, whether that's some of the guys we've been discussing, one of the offensive linemen at 24, and everyone's happy.
So Maui Noah at 6 and Ihan Chor or Blake Miller at 24 is like my or maybe Iowani as well. Like those are like my.
Oh, Blake Miller's not a name we discuss enough, by the way.
Athletic freak, Cleveland zone, by the way, or Northeast Ohio zone. That's like my dream double O line draft. My dream double wide receiver draft might be Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson. And you obviously can't hope that Tyson's going to be there. It's just kind of, if it happens, it happens. Jordan Tyson at 24 would be insane value. I don't get lost a lot on that, but I do think it'd be insane value.
It'd be insane value. It's the type of value that the Browns would love, and so I don't think they'd take him at 6, but if he's there at 24, I could even see if he's there at like 20 or something, them trading up a couple spots and getting that done.
All right. Monroe Freeling at left tackle or Titus Howard at left tackle?
Do
we got a spicy one.
Are we getting Monroe Freeling at 6 or are we getting him at 24?
It does not specify.
Yeah, so all right. So I think they would take Monroe Freeling if it's at 24.
Now it's at 6.
And then I don't think they would do it.
Because you're jamming me up a little bit. You're ruining my bit.
It tells me what direction I'm going. I don't like him at 6. I like him at 24. If he's there at 24, that's what I'm doing. If he's not there, I'm not doing that.
All right, trade down at 6 or trade down at 24.
Trade down at 6 gets you the better haul, I feel like. So I would do trade down at 6, and I would also, I would think they would do trade down at 6.
So there's two things here. You might end up getting an equal haul. I don't know you're going to get a first rounder, although, God, I would love one. But if somebody's coming up to get Ty in that 24th pick, quarterback does drive value on this. You might be able to get a second rounder out of that the same way you might be able to get a second rounder or like a double pick swap like the Dallas thing that's been thrown out there for 6. I actually think this might be a weird year where depending on who is available at 24, it might have a little bit more value than we're – in the same way that, by the way, Atlanta traded up last year to get – it wasn't James Pierce, was it? Oh, that's right. He was their second defensive end. They took the Williams kid first. Yeah. Ooh.
A 6'4" man is taller than 98.9% of the U.S. male population.
Hey, so what I'm hearing is I'm a 1%er and a 2%er? 2%er? I saw Transformer.
It was almost like a Jersey Boys. It was like a Jersey Boys meets Exxon. I don't know what happened.
I get so excited.
You did like a you telling me type thing. You telling me as you do your De Niro face. You telling me?
Telling me? I'm a 1%er? And a 2%er?
So much excitement it brought out your Wahlberg.
Did. or my childhood speech impediment, which is basically a Southie from Boston. Every time I hear a little kid who talks like that, I'm just like, he's a little Wahlberg. He's a little Southie. All right, final one. Casey Concepcion at 24 or Juwan Jennings in free agency. Remember,
I could mess with Concepcion.
People called Juwan Jennings a hoe.
It's not my preferred thing, but I could do Concepcion at 24.
So it's hoe or Hot Wheels here.
I still think Jennings has some value, though. That's the difference. I know, he shoots his mouth off, but like I think Juwan Jennings can still be a good football player.
So I actually think this is pretty equitable. I actually really don't hate the idea of Juwan Jennings in a specific role, Jerry Jeudy in a specific role. If you also think that whoever. Man, I got to tell you, if you draft the right wide receiver.
Which one?
Full Belichick there. If you draft the right wide receiver.
And Edelman pops out of the clouds.
I saw a Transformer.
Julian Edelman,
how keeps coming back to Boston.
This is that Akil Baddoo commercial. Akil Baddoo's in my car.
I look at my 23 and me, and it says 15% Bostonian. He loves wide receivers. He loves Transformers. And he loves to be part of the percent. I'm yay on Juwan Jennings there.
You're what on Juwan Jennings?
Yay! What you think I said?
I don't know. We've been having a pronunciation problem. I wasn't sure.
What a time to announce it. But only for Juwan Jennings. Oh.
Welcome to the party.
Okay, apparently Mac's a part of that party, too. Gonna get real crowded real quick, Mac.
I just got so pissed. He went from having a fun time to just straight up.
He blew himself up.
Myself out.
Just pissed.
He blew himself up. Oh. I don't know what the hell we're going to do, but we're going to do it in 5 minutes on 92.3 The Fan.
watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
With the first pick,
the build-up to the NFL Draft is here, and we're on top of the latest news and rumors ahead of Round 1 on April 23rd. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
In case you missed it, coming up in about 20 minutes here, I will give you credit, JP.
Oh, yeah?
That is as hard as maybe I've ever laughed. I had tears in my eyes in the break 60 seconds after, like a full minute and a half after that update was over. That was stealth. Damn good.
You had a good, nice, like your head shot back in a very nice way. And I was like, okay, we got him. That's good. All right. Happy with that one.
Listen, anytime I have to cover my mouth so that people don't see just what a gigantic human being I am and what a Andre the Giant type teeth that I have, it is a good sign when I am that when I am that left. And I will say, I'm on a roll right now. Nobody knows this, but I'm on a roll.
Oh yeah, how's that?
Yeah, so I have been neglecting my unread messages for probably 6 years now in my email.
Okay, email? Okay.
Yeah. Like, and I had previously done some trimming. At one point, it was up to like 6,000 unread emails.
Can't you can just, there's a button on there that you can just basically select all and then just mark as read, right?
You can, but
I think I've done that a couple times.
So my problem with it is there actually are things that are unread within like the last 6 months that I need to get to.
Yeah.
Because
I've got 7,800 unread.
Wow. All right, but now I don't feel like I have. Oh, sweet. No, not only was I not the worst offender at this, but now I've gone from 38 because I was at 3,800 earlier this week because it was an interaction with Ken and Lima that prompted this. I'm almost under 1,000 now. I feel like I'm really figuring it out.
Are you going through and like opening each one individually, or what are you doing?
I'm going through and finding all the things that have no value now that are unread and just deleting the hell out of them.
Oh, yeah. No, I think at some point I'm just going to go through, maybe in between this break then, and I'm just going to do the mark as read thing, and then I'll go from 7886 to basically 0.
So here's the thing. I don't think that's an honest way of doing it.
It's definitely not.
You're still not like I like to parse them apart.
If I haven't gotten to them, I'm not going to get to them.
This one's going to this folder. This one's going to that. Like at some point, the whole point of my emails is that at some point I will be an adult and funnel things properly and come up with rules for each potential big what's a client or whatever, all that kind of stuff. I will eventually do that. But before you do that, you've got to earnestly go through all the unmarked messages, get rid of the obvious trash, and
you
go
watching
from
it
there.
go? Watch it go. I just did the mark as read, and then you seeing it go down in real time?
I think that's cheating.
I didn't know they did this in real time, where I actually get to watch it just go down. It's a counter, and I'm just losing them one by one. I think in the past it went from 3,400 to 0 in the snap of a fingers. Boom, 0. We're there.
I think my way actually accomplishes things.
Why?
Because, I things are, in case I need something 10 years from now, I know exactly where it is. I know exactly what it's doing. And I know exactly what shouldn't be there is already gone.
I just got nothing going on in my mailbox is maybe the point there. I have
you have a lot of
important.
spam?
Yeah, nothing important is happening here. If I maybe felt like I had important files like you have, maybe I'd take it a little bit more seriously.
The idea that I would have important files and you wouldn't is very funny to me.
You're selling it as some sort of catalog system you need on all this?
I've come up with different labels, different categories.
Yeah, that makes it sound like you got some real action happening in that inbox.
10 years ago, I had a lot of labels, meaning a lot of rules for my old work email at the place that I hated and still hate. They're fine, but I hate them. And by the way, it was the inbox was by the end of the day, that inbox was at 0. So that all the client calls ran, all everything, and I completely neglected my main primary email. And this is right now again 1086, and an earnest 1086. Now here's the problem:
an earnest 1086. I'm at 0. You just watched me go from 7,800 to 0.
It's not the same. That's not the same. I'm working through. I'm cleaning my life up. You're putting off another problem for another day.
There's no problem that exists. There's no going back. I'm like Jimmy Butler with rear view mirrors. I don't have them. If it's not on today's email agenda, I'm not getting to it. There's no going back for me.
There was such a Such a silly way for Jimmy Butler to acknowledge that he turned his car into a death trap, by the way.
Yeah, he doesn't look backwards.
I took them all off my car.
Yep.
So but you don't have zero. You don't have the parking assist. You don't have that. So you're just out here raw dogging the whole thing.
That's a front windshield guy right there, Jimmy Butler. That's what I am with my emails as well. We're all just straightforward ahead. If you sent me an email and I didn't respond to it, I guess that's what that is. But I wasn't going to go back and respond to it
really
anyway.
Cheapened the process.
Well, I wasn't going to. Well, I can tell you feel like I cheated.
Them all?
Well, I mean, they still want them to exist in case I need to go back for reference.
But how are you going to find it if it's 8,000 8,000 read, quote unquote?
The subject line works whether they're done or not done, whether they're read or not read.
Yeah, but okay, but you're still trying to parse through. Like if let's say you were like,
through anything.
I need that thing from Netflix, right? You got 2,000 damn emails there from Netflix.
That would be annoying. Yes, you're right. That would be annoying.
Now, if you came over to the Wilson way of doing things, this is weird because I never understood the Felix or Oscar thing, but you're the Felix on almost everything, and I'm the Oscar on everything. I'm assuming that means you're the tidy one and I'm the messy one.
Yeah.
And then this is the one thing that I'm the responsible one on, and you're irresponsible.
I don't think it's a responsibility thing. I think it's it's just not wasting time thing.
You see the disappointment in my voice when I say, yeah.
I feel,
go a little Umberger
now I feel
there.
bad. I do feel like you wanted some hey, way to be responsible in life type.
I would have liked that. Yeah, sure.
Moment for yourself, but
would have been quite nice to be like,
I gave you a cheat code. I gave you
3,000 emails responsibly gone through and read and dealt with.
All right, I'm reverse engineering
in 3
this
days
in my head. Okay, I'm playing this out and how this did not go how you thought it was going to go, and now we have to. There's new expectations arise.
I thought this was like your kink.
You didn't know that
this would be the thing where it's like I'm being more like Peterlin, and he's going to enjoy that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I had 7,800, and then in the span of I don't know, in this segment, I was able just to get it down to 0. And I could see how that feels cheating if you've spent 3 days clearing the inbox and you're not even at 0 yet.
Are you going to start wearing holy shoes, lumberjack regalia and a backwards ball cap?
I did check. 6'2" is only 4% of America. And so, I'm not a 1%.
What about 230? I noticed you didn't mention 230.
I can get to 6'4" if I start wearing some of those Nick Saban lifts.
That's true.
Maybe that's how we end up in the 1% club.
Or do as we do with the little people and just break your legs for a couple years.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all.
No pain, no gain.
I didn't look at 230. I did not see
Probably
what that is.
Probably should do that. Mac, you were champing at the bit there.
So when it comes to emails in particular for me, I will just swipe them away. I never delete them.
See?
But if it looks important, I'll go ahead and I'll read through, and then I'll just go ahead and star it. That way, if I need to come back to it, I at least can separate it out.
Actually, I'll take that back. I think Mac is better at emails than you are. I don't know any other thing with love
I don't correspond.
that Mac is better at than you.
I don't correspond in emails, and so I really don't have.
You don't
what's
correspond
the
with emails.
Yeah,
that's the point of emails, right?
Do you know what? Do you know the if I had to guess how many emails I've sent this year, 10,
are you a Luddite?
10, maybe.
Do you just
maybe?
Do you think email's the devil?
No, I
think it's the gateway to online porn or something like that. I'm trying to figure out.
I text with people. I just don't do anything else.
I'm the same way.
Well, yeah, you're a child. Okay, wait. I want that one back. You're a man-child. Is that better? It feels better. It felt better in my head when I was thinking about it. You're not a child. You're a grown man-child.
Felt like you took a 98-mile-an-hour fastball and brought it down to a 94.
All right, legitimately.
92.
Legitimately.
3.
My email sent box for this year. One response to Sports Talk Live that I'll be doing April 21st at the J Center for the Jewish Cleveland News.
Yeah.
Response of I'm in. Thanks for having me again, guys. Love it. That type of thing. And the other one is to my accountant. I don't know why my accountant reached out through email, but he reached out through email with a couple questions, and then we corresponded that way. That's
what a flex to talk
emails.
About your accountant there.
2 emails.
What a flex.
He had some questions on the taxes. I said, this is how we do it, I guess. 2. So there's 2 emails in my sent box the entire year.
All right, what about your work email? Because I feel like you got to have, we have so many. I send so many just basic replies of yes, I can do. So that way, I think when it comes to sales, I always want them to know that I'm responding to them and I'm seeing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So how many work emails do you have sent?
Yeah, it looks like maybe 8 on the year. 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got 10 emails sent.
Yeah, and this is including me just accepting like a Gmail invitation to like a Cleveland all staff meeting.
I'll actually
they counted
say
that as a sent thing in the email box.
I don't think that counts. We're like Dustin, how the Pro Football Reference took a tackle away from Dustin.
Yeah.
I'm taking an email away from you in 2026.
And 5 of these emails are just simply "got it, thanks!" exclamation point.
No, those count because I have.
That's it.
I bet you I've sent 100 emails this year. I bet you I have 10 to 1 the emails that you have.
I believe it.
And I bet you work-wise, what did we say? 9 now without the 10th?
Yeah.
Or no, you had 8.
I had 8.
So now you had 7?
Yeah.
I bet you it's still 10 to 1. I bet you it's 70 work emails to 30 personal
Which I don't
emails.
think is a particularly like high number in general for yourself.
Oh,
I've sent 13 this year.
I mean, there are people that do like these.
Sent more emails than you?
I would bet my wife might have sent 100 emails today.
No, that's fair. We don't have one that needs a lot of correspondence via email, but I do have 10 to 1 for you. So there's that. That's what I'm saying.
There's that. Yes, you're right about that.
216.
75th to 85th percentile. I got wide ranges for 230 pounds.
75th?
75th to 85th percentile, yeah.
85th for 235 pounds. Has Google been out on the streets recently? I mean,
yeah.
Is that including like the East Coast?
Clowning?
Clowning. This isn't how like she's a Miami 10, right? Are we just is this South Beach or Cocaine Town induced percentiles here? 230?
Yeah, it's at 230. Yeah.
I could walk down the street and find 5 people that are 230 plus right now.
I would think so.
And it's raining, so the streets are sparse right now.
Well, if it's 75th percentile, then it's 3 out of 4 is going to be less. Why can't we talk in this hour?
I don't know.
You know what happened? You infiltrated everyone with these stupid Transformers, and now we all just keep talking that way.
Listen.
And we've turned into just, we can't do it.
You're all morons.
We can't do it. We're all hacksaw. How did you ever do a show around hacksaw?
Well, I did leave.
Turning into this all the time.
I came home. I got away from him. And some say he's never really recovered. All right, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
I will take the W on being better, far better at emails and far more electronically responsible. I will also take a massive L on everybody on this show not being able to talk this hour, in case you missed it, in 5 minutes on 92.3 The Fan.
Canton.
At Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Official partner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Silverado Equinox 36-month lease. Tracks 48 months. $29.95 due at signing. 0 security deposit. 10K miles per year through GMF. Plus tax $398 doc. See dealer for warranty and details. Ends 3/31/26.
Headline sports news every 20 minutes from the University Hospital's sports desk. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
Final segment of the show, mercifully. For our own good, for your own good, for Mackenzie's own good. I apologize to the listeners, but you asked for it. For Mackenzie's own good, landed it finally. Sounded different than the last traffic update. But the voice has shifted. I don't know if there is an Adobe problem. You never know.
Yeah.
A lot of frequencies, different mics make you sound different. Big thanks to our guest today, Joe DeLeon, at 3 o'clock today. Good stuff with him on the Kaden Proctor business. Don't love it. After what Joe had to say, which is, I don't even think he's a guard. If you're too fat to be a guard, you're just too fat. Like, there's no nice try, fatty. Like Daniel Falalele is like 370 pounds, and they're like, he's just right. So if you're fatter than that, oh boy, is that not good?
That's not good. I didn't love the Kaden Proctor day that this was, by the way. I love the day that we had, but I didn't love the idea that everyone now fell in love with Kaden Proctor.
You noticed it's not one of my ors because I refuse to entertain it.
Refuse to discuss it and go through with it?
I will say, I think I flip-flopped on him because at one point I had forgotten enough about the bad with Kaden Proctor.
Yeah.
Because we've just talked about him so little because he's just been, even at 24, he hasn't really been a part of our conversation. And then it all came surging back today, and it was Danger Will Robinson. Big thanks to Bob Rathbun, the play-by-play announcer for the Atlanta Hawks. Bang Biscuit. Good stuff with him today at 4 o'clock. We had different takeaways on that interview, but good stuff to listen back to at 4. Let's go ahead and get to in case you missed it.
All right, I want to talk about the Tigers. They were the team that was heavily favored to win the AL Central. They suffered a 4-game sweep to the Twins. They've dropped 5 straight. They're 4-9, tied with the Mariners for the worst record in baseball. What's going on with the Detroit Tigers?
I do think it's a little bit of comedy of errors. Like, in the way that the Guardians have had a lot of things go really wonky and maybe not had the kind of success you were hoping from the lineup yet or the bullpen, they've just continued to win. I think there's a little bit of that of the Tigers, or this is just how it's supposed to go.
At what part do you get to freak out as a baseball fan? Like if you're a Tigers fan and you're sitting there watching your team, because think about it, you can do a 4-9 stretch at any point throughout the season, but it just hits harder when it's the opening part of the season.
So usually, I think 20 games, because that's 1/8 of the season. What about pushing this out?
Okay.
30 games in.
30 is usually when I talk about hitters, I usually talk about 30 games in. 30 games is when you start to actually, like any of my fan graphs or any of like baseball savant type people, they don't do anything until 30 games in.
They just talk about vibes.
It's like tumbleweeds on those websites because everyone has to live with the understanding that until we get to 30 games, you can't really do much.
Is that where Fangraphs got 13 home runs projected in 120 games for?
It was 15 was the highest that anybody had.
Yeah.
Out of the 8 different projective sites, 15 was the highest anybody had. No,
Great job, nerds.
It's part of what I love about football so much is that baseball, it takes forever before they can even start to diagnose and figure anything out. In football, you have a bad week in week 1, and people are like, I used to love this receiver. I guess he's done now.
Yep. Now, that being said, we did oars earlier here, and I bogatted the entire segment. Mac has some Browns oars for us that you and I both are going to tackle here.
Nice.
Mac?
All right, so first one for me was...
They involved Juwan Jennings.
Denzel Boston at 24 or Chris Bell at 39.
Chris Bell at 39. It's not even a question for me.
So this one's tough for me because I like Denzel Boston. He's actually one of my favorites if we're talking about like 24 in general. But Denzel Boston. I didn't want to think twice about this. Chris Bell has got legitimate first-round talent. The injuries scare me a little bit, and Louisville scares me a little bit if I'm being honest as well.
What about Louisville? They
don't do the full route tree at Louisville, and so between that and the lack of separation that he had there, I worry. I worry about Louisville wide receivers.
So I think the trade-off here is Bell is more physical. Boston is just taller and bigger. I still like Bell. There's something about Bell that every time I watch him, I think, how the hell is this guy not a first-rounder? And obviously with my Jordan Tyson takes, injuries just not enough for me. And by the way, Bell's injuries are less problemsome than Jordan Tyson's. So I listen, I think there's a chance we look up 3 years from now and say Denzel Boston was overdrafted. I think there's a real chance we're all saying, how in the hell in this wide receiver draft was Chris Bell the 39th pick?
When I see Denzel Boston, I see Michael Pittman. And if you were to tell me I can get Michael Pittman at 24th, I'd sign up for that.
I've been ruined on Chris Bell because I heard somebody like 6 months ago say A.J. Brown, and I've not been able to defeat those allegations in my head since.
That's fair.
So I know you guys had brought up Carson Beck or Will Levis, but going a little adjacent to that, Drew Aller at 107 or Anthony Richardson for a 6th-rounder?
Drew Aller. There is no plane of existence where I will ever get behind any pick for Anthony Richardson. Like, I know I said I'd take Will Levis over Carson Beck. I'm already slumping low here. Anthony Richardson was white. I get it. He was the 4th. He should have never been the 4th pick in the draft. That also is what bugs me about the conversation.
I wouldn't watch Anthony Richardson play football if it was happening in my backyard. I'm not interested.
Now, if it was Anthony Richardson versus a stretch band, I would watch that.
Yeah, I don't even know if he can see right now. We've still not been able to actually figure out if his vision is back to 2020 or not.
Do we have to get him on a Zoom? And the whole point of whether the trade goes through,
it's a trick eye exam,
is if you just go, how many fingers am I holding up?
It's Andrew Berry for.
How about now?
They're flickering the light on and off in the corner.
The Browns become the Ravens instead of it's a knee problem. We did the chart on the wall, and he got 0 out of 12. We thought he'd get 1 out of an accident.
Richardson's like, I don't know.
What's the top one? You're 4 feet away.
He's like, P?
I went to Florida. I never learned these.
He asked you how many numbers. Yeah.
That actually would be a good defense. I'm too stupid to know what letters are because I went to Florida.
It worked for
I'd
Gronk.
buy it.
Yeah.
Why'd you put a square in there?
It wasn't bad. You know what, Mac? It wasn't JP's joke. Which
I can't top that joke.
No one can. You notice I've been.
Oh, you guys.
Hey, you earned it.
You guys.
I'm very proud of you. On an F off Friday, you had the best joke by far. I dare say, I said it in the break, I'll say it again. That's the best joke, considering context, timing, everything on this station so far this year.
Thank you.
And I got text from a very reputable person saying he agrees.
Well, we're getting text now.
We're getting text. A lot of text.
Could a Cleveland Browns employee maybe text?
I get a weird
just so we can make sure.
But that's just Vanessa on a Friday. Oh, have some Sanka. All right.
Okay.
Great job out of Mac Robinson, the supreme leader on the board. Yes. Great job out of Jake Murrin. Don't really know what he did today, but I'm sure it was good.
A lot of dealing with YouTube.
He's a lot of YouTube.
He's like pulling his hair out. Like, this is the most stressful day he's had in years.
And I'm like,
and you're
where
like,
was he?
What'd you do?
Why didn't he hang out today?
Did he even work today? I don't know.
What a jerk. Does he like me? Big thanks to Meredith Kane. Maybe apologies to Mackenzie Flume. Great job out of her. I laughed like hell in that segment. Where's Farmers? JP, good stuff, buddy.
Had fun. Enjoy your weekend.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you back on Monday. More sunshine to come, and hopefully more Browns rumors and Gardos and all that stuff. See you guys.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
You just can't make it up when it comes to Joel Embiid and the